What's in the case? Zoom H5 recorder, batteries and charger, headphones, XLR cable, USB cable, shock mount for external microphone, windscreen for the H5's capsule microphone. Powering up. The kit comes with a charger and 4 rechargeable batteries. Make sure you don't throw these away. Two go in the back. Make sure you observe the polarity. Positive, 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 positive. Unit gets turned on just by pressing and holding this switch to the right, just about a second, and then the unit will come up. To get into the menu, just press this. There are a number of subheadings that you scroll through just by clicking this toggle wheel down. You get into a menu subheading by pressing this toggle lever in. First setting you want to make sure in rec mode is multi-file. And this indicates that it's already selected. Press menu to get back out. Let's adjust some other settings within the menu. Let's go to rec or record, which is different than record mode. Press to go in. Check the format. You want to make sure it is a WAV file, 48 kilohertz, 24-bit. We'll go back up to the menu settings. We'll go down to System. Let's go to Battery Type. The batteries that you're using, NiMH, you want to make sure that battery type is selected. That helps the unit keep a more accurate reading of how much battery life there is. Press menu to get out. That's it for the main settings to start with. We'll set up an external mic to use with the H5 first. Make sure that when you check out the H5, you also check out an external microphone. In this case, you'll check out a shotgun. You'll need to make sure that you put AA battery in. Positive, positive. With this microphone, a Sennheiser ME66, there is an on-off switch. Turn it on. If the battery is good, the red light will flash just for a moment. Same thing when you turn it off. Turn it back on, you see the battery indicator light flashes, meaning there's power in the battery. Let's put the microphone in the shock mount. Notice these rubber bands. They're designed to keep the microphone from bouncing around. The best way to put the microphone in the shock mount is to cross the rubber bands over. Rather than do this, cross the rubber band over. And then just turn it and cross the back end and rotate it a little bit. And that's far enough. You want to be able to have access to where the on-off button is. And you can just rotate it like this. When you're recording outside, always make sure you have a foam windscreen and that you use it. Besides checking out a shotgun mic, the foam windscreen, you'll also want to make sure you check out a boom pole. It comes in a tube like this. This is the end that you will remove to take the boom out. Boom pole has sections. You extend it out, tighten the ring out, tighten the ring clockwise, hold the segment, pull the next section out, tighten. Same thing. When you retract, you loosen. You don't really need to loosen more than a quarter or a half turn. Bring it in, loosen. This is how the shock mount attaches to the boom pole. This gets threaded onto here. Hold this, and you can just spin. Hold it here, and just tighten these two. Let's connect the XLR to the mic. The XLR connectors are designed to fit so that they don't easily come undone. On the female connector, there's a ridge. On the male, there's a slot that ridge goes. There's only one way to go in. You hear that nice click? That means it's seated properly. The other end of the XLR connector goes in one of these inputs. Input 1 or input 2. There's only one way for it to go. If it doesn't align right away, rotate the connector slightly until everything lines up. To remove the XLR from the zoom, you can just pull it out. Most XLR connectors, though, require you to press this button and release it. Don't ever pull the cable to disconnect the XLR, and avoid putting too much strain right here. Next step, connect the headphones to the H5. Most headphones will come with a 1/4-inch jack. The H5 has a mini plug, so unscrew and make sure that you put this in a safe spot. Connect it to here. This is the volume control for the headphones. You want to initially adjust the headphone volume to around 50. It goes from 0 to 100. This is to make sure that if you are listening to a sound that happens to be loud, louder than expected, you're not going to damage your ears. And then you can adjust the headphone volume to a normal speaking voice so that the voice is clear and loud in your ears, but not too loud. In order to get ready to record with the external microphone coming in on input 1, select track 1. If it was coming on input 2, you'd select input 2. You're going to adjust the volume control by placing the mic close to the sound source and adjusting the record knob for input 1 so that the signal on the meter fluctuates between -18 and -12. For a normal speaking voice, that's where you want to set the level. And it's the level of the audio being recorded onto the H5 recorder. If the record level is too high, and you can see that by the meter going all the way to 0, the signal is going to be overmodulated. If it's too low and not enough signal comes in, signal in this case is defined as the sound that you want to record, then what you'll have is very little signal and a lot of noise, which means that when you raise the signal, you'll be raising the noise. Again, for a normal speaking voice, which is a reference, -18 to -12, voices will never stay the same volume, so it's going to fluctuate up and down. To stop recording, press the record button or press the stop button. To transfer the files from the Zoom to your computer, power the Zoom down. Open up this access to the SD card. Press the SD card in and then let it release. It'll show up on your desktop. When you open up the card, you'll see 2 folders, multi and stereo. We selected multi-file, so that's where the Zoom stored your recordings. There are 10 folders. Folder 1 is the default unless some other folder is selected. Notice that this file says track 1. This was the file that we recorded with the external mic because it went into input 1. Once you open up, check your files, drag them to your desktop, and then eject the SD card. Put it back in the Zoom. And then close it up.